Hello, and welcome again to another episode of Third Action. I am your host and beautiful, lovely, very bald GM, Jason, and these are the same three people. Turtle shells in the wrong order.
Yay!
Let me go to here, and the party can fix that real quick. But in the bottom left, we will have Charlotte playing Asher Ford, Human Ranger.
Playing Greshy.
Oh, almost.
Well, no longer.
There we go. We should be good now.
There we go.
I play Greshy.
I could have been Asher. It would have been fine.
All right, Asher Ford, Human Ranger. In the bottom middle, we have Greshy Ironroot, Dwarven Druid, and his dog Phelan 2, played by Will.
Hello, I'm here.
In the bottom right, we have Gunn, Shough, Champion of Erastil, aka Redeemer of Erastil, played by Adam.
Evening all.
And today, we have a show. Hopefully,
Ooh.
I think. So, last time on Third Action, our group of intrepid adventurers managed to slay, the nefarious Black Maga. Or rather,
Chase
put her
away.
off. Yeah, chase her away, lightly. She fled into the Skull River, or into Claybottom Lake, rather. Not to be seen of for some time, perhaps, if ever. In the aftermath of the attack, the party stayed around town to help the local villagers, both trying to get some people to flee up to Fort Rannoch, partially to I guess bolster their forces, and partially just to get people away from the city in case something, or the town in case something bad happens, like this flood. You also just kind of did some general healing around town, caught up with various NPCs, and Asher got a little talk with his dad.
And a hug.
And a hug. Multiple
Hugs from
So
everyone, yeah.
Many hugs were given this day.
I don't know if Greshy hugged back. I don't think he did.
Not really. He just was.
He was hugged. He was
Accepted.
the target of a hug. He critically failed his hug save. But yeah, I think where we kind of ended up was the gang decided to go hang out in the bar for a bit, to relax for a few hours after their harrowing battle. And yeah, I guess that is basically where we're going to pick up. Well, actually, not quite. So after hanging out at Bottoms Up, the local pub, and downing a few free drinks of whatever your preference may be, you all made your way to Turtleback General to check out their supplies. A lot of the stuff has been kind of cleaned out for the purposes of the Black Arrows taking to Fort Rannoch, but they still have plenty of stuff available. Mostly some basic knickknacks and things. I think in our Discord chat, can I get back to what I said was available? Yeah, basically most items up to level 2, as well as a couple other small magical items. Coyote Cloak, Lesser Maestra's Flute, and a Professional Fishing Tackle. Professional Fishing Tackle's not magical, but whatever. You then made your way over across the street to Iron Tooth Metal Goods. I guess I could actually put you guys on the map here. Let's see, map. Kind of.
Looks much nicer now.
Over. Yeah, there's still some water damage all around. The water kind of cut through half the town, and it's still raining. I'll play rain sound effects in a bit, but yeah, across the street is Iron Tooth Metal Goods. As you enter, there's a kind of gruff-looking old human with Yeah, he's pretty middle-aged. He seems to have like a pretty severely dented jaw on one side. And as he turns and kind of grimaces at you, you can see that he's got several false teeth made of some kind of sterling metal. He just kind of grunts as you come in, and you, as you're looking around, you can see the prices for everything are quite high. What would you guys like to do?
But they're like labeled that way. They're not just you ask him and then he tells you the price 3 times.
Yeah, so the most of the items available are just labeled with pretty high prices. When you go up to ask about
Rune work.
you go to ask about some rune transfers and whether or not he'll be willing to. He doesn't have, so you ask him to do some transfers of runes that you've got, and you're curious about him. He doesn't have the +2 rune available, weapon rune available, and you were inquiring whether or not he'd be willing to take your rune to learn from, and then use that to create more runes. He, listening to your story, he just kind of glares at you. What's happened?
Adam's sneaking over. Will.
I'm
We'll
Will.
allow that to be.
No, I'm Adam.
Will's missing, I think.
Yes, Will does seem to be gone.
I'm sure
That's
he would have
interesting.
said something sooner if he were
if you were here.
if he were around.
Well, we'll just
I'll just,
imagine. You just have to play both parts for now.
I don't know if I can be that grumpy.
Well, in any case, he kind of just. It'll take a few days. I'll charge 50% of the rune's price, if that's what you want. All transfers, 50% of the price as well. I'm a busy man. Got a lot of work to do. You guys seem
I
like
imagine-
you're rich types.
Do we?
He's got
Do
Do we? Do we really? You get a lot
You-
of rich people saving your city out here. They just come out and think they can save the city, and we won't even.
He just kind of looks away and looks back at you. He didn't save me. I don't care.
Well, we're not done yet. So, but yeah, what have you been doing here in the last couple? I'll look at his tattoo.
You stare at his arms. He's got like ripped sleeves, lots of tattoos all over, and I don't remember if I said where. On his like upper left arm, he's got pretty clearly the Sahedron tattoo, emblazoned. Same
Last I
style
checked-
as all of the others.
Last I checked, that mark went to people who were throwing around a lot of money.
What I do with my money is my business. Are you
Yeah,
gonna buy
that's
something or
true.
not?
Absolutely not at the way things are, the way that you've listed things. But I'm just really curious, like, why you don't want business.
I think you misunderstand me. I'm the only smith in town. If you want weapons, you'll have to get them here.
I've got weapons, thanks. Working pretty well.
Well, it seems like you don't have the runes that you need.
Got the runes too. Just
Well,
need them moved over, but you know,
good luck transferring those runes yourself.
Can you ever do that? Is that something you didn't learn to do?
If you've got
Yeah,
the crafting skill, yeah.
Ah.
I
That was
think
out of character.
I
I
think
didn't actually
Greshy
know.
was last I checked. Greshy was willing to try it or do it, and the odds were pretty good of it not being catastrophic. Um, hmm. As the only smith in town, do they treat you well? Because I can't imagine you're making a lot of friends with these rates.
I make do on desperate travelers like you.
Oh, you misunderstand me now. It's the people of this town who are desperate.
Well, let them be desperate, and then when they need swords to fight off the ogres or whatever else comes to attack us, they can come right here and pay the prices I set. Still out of order.
Will looks haunted.
I will.
Wow, like he's just been through.
I'm just annoyed as all get out.
Like he's just spent a year in the time chamber while we were
What
gone.
happened?
I don't know. Internet went out. I
Well,
couldn't
if
even
you
get
guys-
on my phone to do hotspot, but it came back up finally. So we'll see.
If you guys want to swap camera spots.
Hi, Adam, if you'll turn off real quick.
Sure.
Or I could just pretend to be Gunn for a little bit.
Hold on. In order to
Greshy's literally just been standing over to the side going,
There we go.
staring off into space.
All right. Restart.
Almost.
That looks
There we go.
better.
There we go.
All right.
Sorry, everyone.
Your friend there's looking a little bit out of it. Is he okay?
He'll be fine. He's probably just shocked by
The prices here, which are
by
outrageous.
this. Yes. By this attempted gouging of the people who just fought a sea serpent for you.
I will just remember for next time there's a sea serpent, we'll make sure it goes to him first.
You didn't fight a sea serpent for me. I could have defended myself if that thing came over here.
I'm sure.
Don't you
With the
see all
sheer
these
amount
swords?
of backlog of items from your high prices.
All right. Well, I'm not making any headway here, so I give up. I'm gonna ask elsewhere about what is the deal with this guy. Assuming we
Okay.
have a little while.
Sure, yeah. I mean, you
yeah,
have as much time as you want.
get it from him. He's just dead set on being a dick. I get that.
Yeah, he seems pretty stubborn. Okay, so you guys exit without buying anything?
I
Did you guys need to get any supplies from the general store?
Let's see
Um,
what was there.
don't think so.
digging through the bag of holding, we found that we still have the alchemical crossbow. By the way.
Well, I mean, I had that on my person,
Yeah. But
and
no one was using it, so I figured.
it kind
we
of. Well, I
probably forgot
have
we
it.
had it. You have it?
Oh yeah, I have it in my
Okay.
inventory, but it doesn't have the +1 or striking, so I never used it.
Oh.
If you
Oh.
want to use it,
Well, I was thinking about moving those across, but this guy's going to charge you like 50 gold to do that.
yeah.
Which
Well, I
is,
think it's 2 runes too, so isn't it like
right.
50?
Well,
each? Yeah.
it's 65-35, so it's 100
okay.
total. So he'd charge you 50,
Mhm.
which is enough of like pocket change that it might still be worth it at this point.
But it would take a day.
It would take him the trouble is it would take him too long, but maybe Greshy
Yeah.
could do it.
I could definitely give it a try.
Do we have an extra +1 in striking rune around? You know what?
He's got them
selling-
for sale. We could pick them. We could just
he's
take
got,
them and
He's got the runes for sale at regular cost for those 2 particular runes. So I think we would be pretty well served. I was going to buy a bunch of bombs and give them to Asher to try and use with that weapon.
My bombs.
A few bombs.
Probably gonna buy the ammunition. I don't know how much of each ammo he has, and I assume the ammunition is bolts or pretty much anything.
Yeah, it's regular bolts, and you need two things. You need a bolt and a bomb. I think Jason's muted.
Oh no, that's
sorry.
for the alchemical crossbow. I was just talking regular.
Yeah, Asher was interested in the spell strike. Is that what you're
I was
saying?
gonna take some
Or
of
just
each
regular
of
bolts.
those.
Okay, regular bolts are just normal price. He has basically as many as you would reasonably need. And I think the spell strike bolts are pretty similar.
Yeah,
he
he
has
was selling plus
enough.
1 rune, striking rune, and spell strike bolts at regular price.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd say he probably has about 40 spell strike bolts.
40. So, and the beacon shot and the shining is kind of the same?
Does he actually have the beacon and the shining shot?
It said so on the list.
Yeah.
Oh, then yes.
It's the only reason I'm asking. Yeah. Alright, let me...
Sorry, I forget what I put on the list. So, yes, he
You don't have it memorized. How dare.
Sorry. Yeah, he has roughly 40 of each of those. If you want a little bit more than that, then just let me know. But
I probably do not want more than 40 each of these, but I have to do...
Did you want to try putting runes on the alchemical crossbow and using it with bombs, or no?
I could. I was actually thinking of probably getting rid of it, because I don't know how much better the bombs are.
I think they add a d6.
each bomb
every
adds
shot.
a d6 to 3 shots.
Yeah.
D6.
And I think a bomb costs like 2 gold.
It's not too bad.
That's pretty good.
Versus... Because I wasn't even thinking about this.
The
until just
downside is
now.
that you only have 30-foot range on it.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm. Or
Generally
range
hasn't been a
increment, if that's still a
problem.
thing.
It's range increments, but we've also been fighting in close enough quarters that you really haven't been that far.
Agreed.
It's part of why using a bow hasn't been particularly useful, because we've been inside all the time, and that's a volley.
Well, I mean, the
the
bullet
longbow.
bow is also
Mhm.
crappier.
Well, that too, but
I was
just,
waiting to get a striking on that one, so it'd actually be the same as my crossbow.
With
Yeah, I
bow?
usually fight like pretty ranged.
except for when you start cutting people up and stealing their blood for your weird temporary hit point bonuses.
Only an emergency, Greshy. When I'm stuck in a room.
Do you have a longbow also?
I do.
Oh, okay.
And I have 43 arrows. It's just a +1, so the reason I've been using the crossbow is just because
Mhm.
it's better. I would get more attacks on the longbow.
I've still got this regular longbow too that I haven't put anything on. And I was thinking about either stowing it for good or getting runes put on it.
Well,
However,
why don't we
Sounds like
just
we have-
pick up the runes here, and I can try applying them to whichever weapon you want.
yeah, I agree.
They're
So
they're a cost.
what if we buy 2 sets of +1 striking for 200 gold? And we try to transfer it to the alchemical crossbow and a longbow.
Sure. And I can't tell if I'm frozen or not.
I can hear you.
We can still hear you. Your video's frozen.
Good internet here. Anyway, let's just grab the striking +1 and call it good for the 2 sets.
Okay, so after telling off the guy and saying that you won't buy anything,
I
you
didn't tell off the guy.
come back into the store.
We'll send Asher in to do it
I
then.
had full intention of making purchases.
Okay, so they just kind of So you all leave, and Asher's like, but I actually wanted to get some stuff. You're like,
But I wanted to get them.
you tell him to grab a couple more things while he's in there. So yeah, who's paying for those?
I'm trying to do my math on what I'm actually
Let's
getting.
I'll buy a set. So that's 100 gold.
Okay. That is a +1 rune and a striking rune.
Mm-hmm.
Now. I don't know if I need.
And Asher is kind of
Doing
perusing the
math.
aisles, like picking up.
So am I
picking up a bunch
buying
of
the
bolts.
other one? Let's see. I'm trying to look up like 7 things at once. So, because I hadn't thought about something else.
If you need to use longbow, like if we're going into an encounter where you need the longbow, you can just use my one.
The longbow for me, like I have really good range because I have stuff that gives me good range on my crossbow in general. So the only real bonus to my longbow is that I can fire multiple shots. I don't have to reload.
Right. And since you get the one free reload around as long as you move, right now that's mostly mitigated.
I do have some bad news. It's going to take me about a day to try transfer a rune from the runestone onto a weapon or something of some sort.
Oh. Well then, maybe we'll just carry it with us and see if we get time this evening.
At some point, I can do it. We're kind of in a hurry, it sounds like, so I'm not sure we're going to be able to.
All right. Well, we'll buy those things, and then we'll... the only other plans I had before we move on, if we're ready to move on, was to write a letter back to... a couple of letters, I think. We need to tell the folks in big city we came through... Magnamar, what we've discovered and pass along all of our evidence. And I was going to also write back to Sandpoint and let the folks there that we know up to date on our status. So Mother Tiketz and the Bard Lady mainly. Ameko, yes, thank you.
Okay. Do you have paper and supplies to write those letters?
We do, actually.
We do. We did recover some from Snake Lady's drawers.
Right, yeah.
Pulled them right out of her drawers right there. So.
All right. So you take some time. You return to the bar just to use the tables to sit down and write some of these letters while Asher's doing his shopping.
Oh God, I did my math wrong. Wait a minute.
The one letter is to the mayor of Magnamar, and it's basically going to say, here's our report on the mission you sent us on. We've reclaimed Fort Rannoch from the ogres, and their what are they, Lamias?
Aye. Lamias.
Lamia mistress. However, she has escaped into the wild and is continuing a campaign against the town of Turtleback Ferry, which we are continuing to fight against. The fort is now secure but undermanned and sustained serious damage, and the captain of the guard or of the Black Arrows cannot be found. Our next move is to attempt to locate him. We believe we know where he's gone and maybe being held against his will. More supplies would not be amiss, and the town has sustained some damage, and there are refugees in need of rebuilding. We've moved some of them into the forts for the time being, but all of this is temporary. Suggest you send troops or builders to reconstruct the town, or both. I don't know. That sounds pretty good to me.
Okay. Cool. Yeah, you write that letter. And then what are you sending to Amako and to Cats? Just kind of general.
Probably two different. Yeah, like, how you doing? Letters. How's things going? We have killed we killed one Lamie and we're fighting another. Watch out for people who are worshipping the Runelords. This conspiracy is ongoing and extensive.
Your dear and humble servant, Gunn Shough.
I have the honor to be your obedient servant.
Yeah, obedient servant. There you go. Thank you.
Shough.
Okay. Yeah. So you write these 3 letters, and you take them to you go ask around for the post office. You find it. It's on the dry side of town. Luckily, not too far from the ferry. Oh yeah.
And should you find yourself in Magnamar, please drop by this address. Feel free to stay there at your leisure and show this letter to the caretaker if she's still even caring and not just taking.
Right. Okay. So, yeah, you take these letters to the post office. Let's see. So, oops. Asher is over at the metal goods. I'm not sure where Greshy is right now.
He's still in the middle of the square, just stunned out of his mind. Stunned, I said, not anything else.
Okay. Shalea's probably there with you.
I'd probably go with Gunn. I'm a little offended about the pricing as well. As much as I thought that bramble shield looked really nice.
Okay. I guess Shalea's probably in the north of town somewhere. But yeah, you make your way over to the post office. It's still pretty dry. A bit of rain has come in through the roof, and they're currently like mopping up the floor. But the postmaster there is eager to take your letters. Let's see. So the going rate for Magnamar is that's just 2 copper. If you want these other 2 letters delivered, it should be 5 copper for Sandpoint and 8 copper for what's this you wrote here? Heart Grove. Heart. I think I know where that is. All right, sure. Yeah, 8 copper for that one.
All right, that's a total of 21 copper. Here's 25 for a tip. No.
All right. Well, I thank you for your service. Or thank me for my service.
For your patronage.
Somebody's service was pretty good here.
Yeah, patronage. That's the word. All right, I'll have these. I don't think there's any boats out right now, but just next postage boat should be here in a couple days. Shouldn't take too long to get these letters delivered. Well, thank you. If you ever need anything else, you just feel free to come back.
Will do.
Y'all come back now here.
That's what I heard too.
I almost went there. I decided not
almost
to.
went there. That's fair. Well, it was fine.
And then we can move on to what's the place called on the map that we're heading?
Shimmer Glens, I think.
Shimmer Glen. I was like Whisper Glen, Shimmer Glade.
Shimmering Glaze. My favorite ways to prepare.
So while you guys are doing that, Asher, what did you end up buying?
Yay! Okay. So you want me to buy the other rune, right? The striking rune, or not the strike? Yes. Who bought the striking rune? I completely
I got a +1 and a striking, which the intent is I'm going to put them on the longbow that I have.
Okay. And that means there's no more.
If
He's
you
got-
Yes, there's a +1 rune, I guess.
He's got whatever.
I thought
Whatever
he had
you-
multiples of those. Did he only have one of each?
he has multiple rune stones of each of those,
Oh, okay. All right, cool.
Yeah, just
especially
see
the
the
plus
plus
one.
one.
It
Plus
doesn't
whatever you're looking
change,
for,
yes.
and whether you
Alright.
want to beef your longbow or your alchemical crossbow.
We'll see who's getting the beef. All right. So
Where's the beef?
I was gonna get 1 striking rune. What did I don't even know my own
I
handwriting.
thought it was +1 striking rune. You needed some bolts, and you might have been buying some magic bolts as well.
Yeah, it's just the number.
Oh,
I want to show you my handwriting.
12 dozen.
Can you?
Uh,
I think it's a 30.
Yeah,
that looks like a 30.
it's like a 30.
Looks
So
fine.
yeah, I think I want the 30. What even ammo? Spell strike ammo. 10 shining, 10 beacon, and I want 40 normal bolts.
Okay.
I think comes out to 559 gold.
All right.
What?
I think.
That's a lot to spend on.
Well, it was the 200 for the different runes, so I don't know if Asher was counting your payment of the 100 for yours in there or not.
Yeah, I
Let me
covered
redo my
one.
math again. So it's
Well,
because this.
Well, so I think Gunn has just purchased his runes separately, effectively.
yes.
Yeah, because the
Okay.
I mean the 30 spell strike alone is 360 gold.
Okay, yeah. 30
Yeah.
I didn't. Sorry, I missed that. I thought
Mm.
you were going to get like 10 spell strike bolts.
Nope, 30.
30, that's a lot. Okay.
Okay,
Yeah.
well, that math probably checks
that,
out
that
then.
explains it.
Yeah, I was like,
It's
I'm
probably
pretty
fine.
sure I did it. I did it okay.
Yeah,
Mm.
that's fine. Yeah, so
Skeptical.
30, these are level 1 spell strike bolts.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So they can fit a level 1 spell. And for the chat, the way that works is you cast a spell to activate it, and then you shoot it with the crossbow separately, delivering the spell and the bolt at the same time.
So you can heal your friends from 240 feet away if you know a healing spell.
If you
That's
so
better
choose.
than the damage.
Sure, that works out just fine.
I feel
Okay.
1 hit point better, but that really hurt.
So Asher comes, stumbling out of the the metal goods with this like pile of stuff. He's like stuffing into his bag as the rest of the party meets up with him back in the square.
In my rune.
All right, what would you guys like to do? You've reunited.
I think we're ready to set out for the Shimmer Glens.
Sure. I will say I don't have any spells specifically prepared for the Shimmer Glens, but if we're comfortable with that.
I'm currently doomed and drained too.
Right.
Well,
I imagine by
Which
now my feet defense is faded, I hope.
in character,
Yeah.
Asher would be like, I feel really bad.
I feel like
Or
crap
great.
still now that I've gotten all my hugs, and I feel like shit.
we're not really expecting a major showdown there. But then
Oh.
again, every time we think that, we
We were
open
just
a
coming back to
door
town
and-
to let them know that there was something bad coming. They got here
There
first.
can't be anything behind this weird coin statue. This weird puzzle.
The skull door?
Certainly is
Nah.
all right. Hold
It
on.
wasn't behind the skull door. It was behind the.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
because
true.
the skull door looked the most dangerous.
We thought that was the more dangerous one, but they tricked us.
Certainly it's this one, right?
Well, so I mean, we could make our way over to the Shimmer Glens, camp out for the night, and then finish the trek in the morning.
Aren't the Shimmergrens really close? to
They're
town?
across the lake.
Like less than half the distance from compared to Fort Rannoch, and Fort Rannoch was like a half day.
I mean, it's across the lake, so we still have to get across the lake with,
My thought was that it was going to be like an hour or a 2-hour trip.
might be. That's why I was
Yeah.
suggesting we can just make our way there now. We still have
Yeah.
most of the
Yeah.
day, and then we can
Yes.
camp out.
But why would we camp out when we could just
Or
So,
I
like,
can go in half prepared.
right?
That's
Exactly.
what I'm saying.
This sounds like a fight my parents would have. We can drive all the way there tonight.
We can just go
Kids are
now,
hungry.
and I can be half prepared, and Asher can be feeling like shite, or we can go
I feel like.
and camp out and rest up a bit,
How about
or
we make the call?
we
when
can
get
rest up
there?
here.
How about we make the call when we get there? Because
All right, Father.
I'm not expecting like a fight there.
I'm not expecting anything, which is why I'm trying to be prepared for as much as I can. And as of right now, I'm not. That's all I'm saying.
Jason, I have a question.
Yes.
Completely out of this fight. I meant to give. It was last week where I thought the idea of giving the feather token to the black arrows would be a good idea in case they find anything, and then they can just send that. Can I still do that? Or
Yes, they. If you want to,
Did they
they haven't fully left yet. No.
okay, yeah,
They
I'll
said
at
they
least
would
give
take a
one
few.
of these and be like, hey, if you find anything when you're investigating, send this to us and let us know. Anything
Okay.
bad.
So
guess.
yeah, you go out in search of one of the black arrows who hasn't left yet. Give me a perception check. We'll call it that.
To proceed.
Perception.
Wait, 23.
23. Okay, so you head off to the north side of town to go looking for the black arrows, and you find Shough and fuck, what's his name? Why am I pointing on his name?
Jakarta.
Caven.
Caven.
And Caven.
Yes.
Oh boy, Caven.
They're talking over by the graveyard.
Oh, cool.
Giant Caven.
Great.
And he's gotten big all of a sudden. He's grown up now.
They're just talking near the north side of town, near the graveyard, on the side of the path when you come up. Oh yeah, sure. How are you doing? Are you doing okay?
Oh yeah, I got a bunch of new bolts for my. I almost said for my gun, for my crossbow. I am feeling a little woozy after the fight, but I think it'll pass with time.
Yeah, you certainly look like you took some hits, says Shough.
I was like, oh yeah, it bit me on the shoulder, but Greshy helped.
Well, I was just talking to Caven here. We weren't sure what the next steps of your plan were. Sounds like the Black Arrows are heading back north. What were you guys going to do?
We were gonna go down to the Shimmering Glen. That's what it's called, I think. I think we're gonna check out, see if we can find out what happened down there, and then do our best to mosey up north. But I was looking for the Black Arrows because they said they were going to investigate the dam, I think it was, up north, where to see if it was broken or if anything was wrong. And I was gonna give Jakardos this, and he takes out the feather token, and if there's anything alarming or anything that they need us for right away, to just send this bird feather token to find us and let us know.
I can give that to him. I was just Jakardos already left, but I can hand it to him if you
Oh,
want.
cool. That would be great. And I'll hand it off. Now I have one less feather token.
Okay, he takes the feather token and kind of twirls it around and tucks it into his vest pocket. Well, if you're out looking for the captain, I don't know if we ever told you his name.
Oh yeah.
Lematar Baden is his name. Don't know if that'll do you any good, but
Wait, can
We
you
did.
say that
We
name
did.
again?
We did have that name. We did
Did
have
you?
that name.
Okay.
It might have been written on his boots or something. I don't know.
all right, I don't remember if I told you or not. Caven doesn't remember
Well,
if I
good.
told
We
you.
may have. I think we had. I think we had his love letters
Okay.
to his nymph girlfriend.
Oh well, I already told you. Okay.
Flash doesn't remember names, so it's like the first time he's heard it.
Do you want to come with us?
Did you
Oh.
join them?
I was going to say,
Oh.
are you there too?
Asher,
thought we were all-
I thought
himself.
we were leaving. And
Well, we'd be going south. Asher was just doing an
Oh, you
errand.
guys
real quick.
were arguing, and I was like, I'm gonna go
Oh.
give this to, because I
You're
was
feeling
doing
like
an
I thought
something
we
Hail
were
Mary
all. I thought we were all leaving town out the north because I thought
Not
Shimmerglands
yet.
were
You
north.
guys were kind of
They're
arguing.
southwest of us, across the lake.
Yeah, they're to the south. So after you guys finish arguing, you kind of catch up with Asher and the others, and you kind of catch the tail end of that conversation. That's when you say that. We'll call it like that. Well, I should probably get this over to the to Chikardros, but I don't really have anything to do. Shalelu says with a kind of shrug.
Ooh.
If you guys don't mind, I'll certainly like to tag along.
Well, that would be great. I think that would be wonderful. More bonding.
All right, it's a deal. All right. Well, you guys already know how to get to the Shimmerglands.
And we'll meet you up at the fort as soon as we can. We're heading to the fort next after the Shimmerglands, right?
I think that's the
Think
plan.
so. Yeah.
And then regroup and figure out what to do next.
stop
Hopefully,
over-
we'll come
to
back
stop
with our
over
captain.
on our way north.
All right, sounds like a plan to me. But yeah, do you guys already know how to get to the Shimmerglands, or?
I
Yeah,
don't
no.
personally know.
We know
Mm.
where they are.
I believe you either can go around the lake and cross a couple of rivers, or we can go across the lake somehow and get there. It's to the southwest.
Is there a cool shortcut?
Well, I was gonna say if you head on over to the Skull Ferry, they might have they're the ones who usually take folks across the lake. Here, if you just tell them my name, you should be able to get a good deal. I don't know if they're still operating though. Anyway, I should probably go catch up with the captain. Or, he's not the captain yet, right? He starts to turn and
Yes,
away.
that's foreboding.
Spoilers.
Don't get into trouble, Kevin.
I won't.
Haven, you did
Anyways.
great.
You too.
Words of
Says-
affirmation.
Yeah,
Sure,
being a little pissant.
Greshy's the mean parent.
Yeah, he didn't.
It's a
he
good
didn't
cop,
get that
bad
last
cop, but
one.
I'm not a cop.
Yeah, he missed that last jab, but he just kind of waves as he's running off.
Aye. Well, I suppose we can trade the ferry then.
Yeah. Where is
Yeah,
the ferry?
we can ferry.
I
you
believe
along.
to the south. Or Skull Ferry to the... Is that the one over here to the west?
Yep, Skull Ferry is off to the
Okay.
west. So if you ask around town, or if you ask like a person passing by, they'll tell you where Skull Ferry is. Pretty direct directions. And the group of you guys make your way over to the ferry.
Aye.
Ooh.
I'm sorry.
Except for Asher. Asher stays behind.
I
Are you two bringing your horses? Actually, for that matter,
Oh my
Shalelu, would you
God.
want to bring your horse along, or?
Well, if we're going to a marsh, that might not be the best terrain for a horse. I think it's
I'm-
probably
I
fine
think
to leave
once
it.
his ankles will give out, I should probably put him up here.
I believe the stables were down south near the docks.
Alright, I should go there.
Yeah, I assume that you guys put the horses at the stable already.
How much is it per night?
Oh, well, they probably, since you guys saved the town, they'd be willing to just do it for free.
We'll go
Yeah,
for
save
free.
the town.
Yeah. Yeah, they're willing to house your horses for free.
Huh.
You tell them how long it's going to be, or like roughly a week maybe
Aye.
at most.
No more than that.
Yeah, a couple days, maybe a week. And they're like, it's fine, it's fine. We have plenty of feed. It's not like anybody else is bringing their horses right now. These troubled times we live in. Yeah, go on ahead. Y'all scoot. I'll keep these horses safe. And he kind of shoos you out.
Awesome. Let's will be happy to take a rest.
A long rest.
I hope he's alive when I return. I sure hope nothing ever happens to my horse,
Asher says that very loudly as he
which
leaves.
is my rented horse that is not even mine.
They practically gave him to you.
They
The best
did.
thing is going
They
to be
wanted to give
Blitz.
them to you. You were like,
Wanted-
no, I'll rent it. It's fine.
I love him. He was so old.
He deserves a nice, good outing and hopefully a nice, clean death at the time that's appropriate, not
Last
You know.
adventure.
just when his legs give out.
Only one has to give out, Greshy.
Yeah, Blitz is just kind of swaying over in the corner of the stable by himself.
That was macabre. All right.
That's what happens. You have to kill the horse when they're like one leg,
Okay.
because they have to stand. Oh, it's so sad. Now I'm sad. I hope that doesn't happen to my horse.
It's allowed to happen to Blitz now.
Okay.
All right. Well, so you guys make your way over to Skull Ferry. The sign is kind of soaked a bit. Shillelagh recognizes this as the building she was standing on top of during the battle against Black Maga.
Oh,
Okay.
The whole place is pretty waterlogged, and inside is an older man, slightly, I guess, almond skin, dark black hair with like streaks of white, tied up into a ponytail that's actually quite long. It's like knee-length ponytail, but it's kind of draped over one shoulder. And he just, as you approach, you can see the door's like wide open, and he's like got this over his left shoulder, which is not the shoulder with his ponytail. He's got this just like stack of like some kind of kelp, and he's just like pulling the strands of this stuff out from the woodwork. It's all like slimy and wet, and he's just slopping another one on his shoulder as you enter. Oh, customers. I'm sorry. I don't know if I'm ready for more customers. What do you want? Ferries are cancelled for the time being. He says, kind of just not really even looking at you.
Is there any chance we could borrow a boat?
Borrow a boat? Sorry.
We're intending to search for the captain of the Black Arrows.
I'm sorry,
We
I
need to
don't
travel
do
over
boat...
to the Shimmer Glens.
I don't really do boat rentals. Most of my staff need their boats for their living. Where are you trying to go exactly?
Into the
Shimmer Glen,
Glens.
just across the lake there. Be quick.
Shimmer Glens. You folks seem... Are you in some kind of a rush? Is this important?
You know, fate of the world, possibly. Probably might be exaggerating a bit, but
No, fate of the world. He lays this mountain of sea vegetation or ocean vegetation, lake vegetation, lake river vegetation on the ground with like just like a splot, and looks over at you.
Did you say a splut?
Yeah, a splut.
it splits.
Splut. Little schloopy
Just checking.
splot.
Want
Yep.
to make sure I... Okay.
A little onomatopoeia for you.
Well, if it's that important, I suppose I could take you myself. I've given all my other employees the day off. He kind of cracks his neck. And how many of you will be making the journey? He kind of looks at... Is that dog thing coming too?
Oh, I can make him a bit smaller if need be, but yes, he would be.
Yes, if you could do that, that would be wonderful. I don't know if we could fit that many in a turtle boat.
Oh, that's fair. Come here, Phelan, and I'll go over and activate his collar and bring him back down to puppy size for a bit.
But if it's just the four of you, That should be.
What do you mean? We got like 20 kids on one of these earlier, didn't we? Didn't we?
I mean, we crammed
Are
a
we-
bunch of, not
It
20,
was
but we
saved
crammed a number on them.
children.
Earlier today?
Well, children are different than the weight of this thing.
They're all
but
crammed in
his-
super
Very
tight.
true.
Also, we
But
weren't
this-
trying to navigate a lake. We were just trying to get them away from,
Did we ever
you
get
know, the giant
bottle
snake thing
back?
that we defeated.
The
Did we get the
bottle.
water?
Oh, from the teacher?
Oh, we should probably track her down as soon as we can.
Oops.
I feel like Basta would be very upset with us if we didn't get that back for some reason.
So
There's just this
Greshy,
feeling I have in my gut.
or
we had
who,
time to-
someone can suddenly remember this if you wish.
I think we had time to have done it.
Oh
Well,
no.
Asher remembers.
Oh my god, the bottle. Do we want the bottle back?
I should get
that's
that back.
pretty handy. I mean,
Do you know it was the
Perhaps
school
that'd be
teacher? Do you know where the school teacher usually lives?
One second. I ran out of disk space.
Oh no.
Oh, are you serious? Oh no!
Oh no.
Today is just a cacophony of errors
Yeah.
or problems, I should say, not really errors.
Fuck. Okay, well, I'll delete these. Yikes. Whoop. Sorry, everyone. Let me delete some FLVs. Maybe I should have looked at that a little earlier.
It's gonna jam over here.
Okay, I'll probably have to do the episode from the Twitch download. Yeah, that'll be annoying. Okay, well, I restarted the recording, and hopefully that's good enough for now. Any case, sorry, what was your last question?
Oh, where the school teacher usually lives. We loaned her something. We were trying to see if we could get that back before we go.
Oh, yes, I think I saw her.
Well, ma'am.
She was out with the kids over by the fields.
All right, I'll go grab that if you can pony up the whatever it costs. I'll
yeah, we'll get everyone
pay my share.
ready.
And I make Phelan big again and mount up and ride him off to see if we can track down the children's.
Okay, you book it as you remember to get the decanter of endless water.
I do like that.
Let's see. So there's 4 of you plus a tiny puppy, I suppose. That will be, well, with my usual going rate doubled for peak hours. That'll be a single copper, I think, will do.
Wow.
Give him a gold.
Yeah,
5.
sir.
At least give him a gold. 5 might do.
No problem. Thank you for taking care of us. Here's a gold piece. Would you be willing to? Let's see. How long do we think we're going to be over there?
I hope only a day or two, but
Oh,
I
for a
don't know what
gold
we're
piece,
dealing with.
We could take one of the premium turtle shells.
I'll take a.
So many questions about what makes it premium. Do you get a massage on the way over?
It's just better. It holds more children, twice as many.
That's what it was. That was the problem.
It
We
was
should
the
have been
premium
using the
one we
premium
had.
turtle shell.
Well, that comes from bigger turtles, so it's a little harder for them to get.
Could you
But
potentially
yes,
pick us up tomorrow or the next day?
pick you up tomorrow or the next day? Sure. That
Thank you.
won't be a problem.
You gave him a whole gold.
I want to give him.
Only 100 times what he asked for.
This is more money than I usually see in a year.
Oh my
Really?
god!
I'm so sorry.
I want to give him 5.
Oh, you're just investing in a retirement
the-
fund. It's kind of, yeah.
Like the harbor
his
master?
place has seaweed in it. All these people, their town
Oh.
has been
And then they gave us a whole
somewhat
bunch of money.
destroyed.
Yeah,
It's not that I'm here to contribute. but-
I'll give him some money.
Oh, you need not. This is more than enough.
It's too heavy.
Oh, okay. We'll take the.
I have too
take
much
the
gold. It's too heavy. I have to get rid of some
Too
of it.
heavy. Please take this.
Ugh.
It's so wet and gross from my
Oh.
battle. You can have it.
Oh, okay. Oh, this is a lot of money. Just a moment. I'll need to go deposit this in the bank.
And he walks outside the house, or that house, the building. He kind of kneels down by the entrance and lifts up a stone, and tucks the gold in a tiny depression in the ground.
This is my favorite character.
So, speaking of depression, this is just depressing as hell.
Oh, it gains interest under the rock. I see.
And once he's replaced the rock, he kind of looks around and comes back inside.
Well, once your friend gets here, we can depart as soon as you're ready, I suppose. Did you want facts about Clay Bottom as well while we're traveling?
Yes.
Perhaps I could recite you some lost poetry of the region.
I absolutely want
Yes.
this.
Yep. Yep.
I haven't had entertainment
Jason, you can't offer something like this unless you're
in
prepared.
years.
I hope you're prepared. We're sitting here through all your poetry.
I want trivia about the Skull River. I want all of it. They
Okay,
are a
so,
tourist town. That does make sense.
Greshy, you find the teacher, you get the decanter back, and return.
Oh, all right. Easy peasy. And then we'll shrink Phelan back down to size so he fits on the. Unless the premium boat can fit a regular size Phelan, but.
No. So as you're led out to the back, you see a bunch of boats that all look pretty identical, and he leads you to the one at the furthest end of the dock.
Everyone, step into the turtle shell. No need to be shy.
This shell looks identical to all the other shells. Not sure what makes it premium at all.
It's got a little more grease on the bottom. It's faster. I will
Just-
get in the turtle shell.
Oh, sure. I'll shrink Phelan down and put him in my little bag and.
Climbing in.
While we're on the water, be sure not to dip your hands too deep underneath the surface. The nightbelly boas like to snap at things that dither in the water.
Keep
I
that
had
in
to-
mind.
Kick one of those things out of here after the floodwaters receded. It was quite naughty, I tell you. Here, one moment, and he kind of shuffles his way back to the building and comes back with a single oar. And he gets in the boat behind you all. All right, if you're all ready, we shall depart. And he, with one hand, kind of deftly undoes the rope tying the turtle shell to the dock, and then begins very quickly rowing. And with the splashing sound, you guys begin to propel your way across the lake.
Is he rapidly rowing, or is he just?
He's rowing pretty rapidly for how old he sounds.
All right.
So he's just splash, 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 splash. Rain is just continually dropping down from the sky because I forgot to put the rain sound effects. Can I find them? Let's do some heavy rain. Alright, so rain is maybe starting. I'm realizing that I don't think the Zoom call has my original sound. There we go. Okay, so yeah, he starts just paddling as hard as he can, reading out clay bottom lake facts a mile a minute. You can't possibly keep up with the speed at which he's recounting information to you.
How convenient.
Premium.
Play bottom facts.
And let's see. It's like a... do you guys want to go? Yeah, I guess he'll take you here. So it's about a 4-mile journey across the lake, which you get done in barely an hour at his speed.
Oh.
Wow,
He
four
is
Actually, really
miles
good.
an hour.
Yeah, that's
Um,
pretty.
he is like a consummate professional. He's just rapidly rowing left, right, as you rocket across the lake, and eventually pull up to the shore on the other side. There isn't any dock there, so he just kind of beaches you up on the sort of marshy shore. And up ahead, you can see through the rain. There's just this light mist all around, and instead of normal, very healthy-looking trees, you see what appears to be like. So I guess most of the trees that you've seen up in the north are pretty much in their fall colors. The leaves have turned to oranges and yellows and reds, but they're all still mostly on the trees. But here, all of the trees are completely barren. Many of them seem to have turned gray or even a dark black, almost like they've been burned. And many of the plants seem just withered and wilted. The grass seeping up from the moss has kind of curled in this dark brown. They have curled and become dark brown. There we go.
By the way, while we're traveling, I'm going to top everyone off, and then meditate to get back to points, focus points.
Okay.
All right. How much healing is that?
Well, let's see. I mean, I can. In an hour, I can get back 12 focus points, which is enough to do 360 hit points. So I think that's
So
enough to
I would
top
actually say
everyone
that you can't focus while this guy is rattling out his lake facts.
Really?
To you. Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, if you
Right,
wanted to do
well-
some of that in the town while you guys were.
I did charge up in
at
the
the bar.
town, but I didn't use the charges and then recharge again. So
It's fine.
I mean,
I think we're
you
all
guys-
right either way.
Oops. You guys had some time in the bar. If you wanted to do it then, but.
all right, let's do it then.
Okay.
Sure. I'll take all my hit points back. I'm not going to complain.
But yeah, on the lake ride over, like you need to have some like quiet and time to think
Fair
and
enough.
focus as the boat is like rocking and
What if I?
splashing and he's screaming facts at you all over the rain.
All right, if,
It's
if
not
you
a very
didn't-
relaxed environment.
If you didn't already give me another out, I would like make a diplomacy check to try and get him to to chill a little bit.
Are they natural facts about how natural the lake is?
So examples of some facts are just like the water, the clear waters from Claybottom Lake come from the massive Storval Deep to the north. Storval Deep is locked in place by Skull Crossing, a massive dam that was built many centuries ago by an unknown civilization. That the Skull River has flowed for many centuries, that there are nightbelly boas in the water that attack small children if they play in the lake's waters. That he tells you about as if you hadn't already heard, he tells you about the paradise, which used to frequent these waters, and is now rests at the bottom of Claybottom Lake, and he kind of points at where the wreckage was and describes to you the scene that night, because he was out on the waters that night and saw everything. He tells you about Lake Cole to the north. He tells you about Sanos Forest, where the gnomes live. He tells you about their trading post in Bitter Hollow. He warns you of the ogres in the Kriegwood and how dangerous they are, and how you should never go walking in the Kriegwood at night if you're not a hunter, a trained hunter or professional.
All right.
That okay.
But are they nice, natural facts, Jason, that I can listen to and consider?
Oh, for your. um. Sure. I'll give it to you, but I won't give it to Adam. It's wanting to focus.
Ah,
I feel very.
Depends on what you're trying to focus on. That's the problem.
Yeah, he starts
I
describing.
love these facts.
He starts describing the wildlife and yeah, just the local flora and fauna.
okay.
But yeah, eventually you kind of beat yourselves against this kind of mossy, swampy area, and well, here you are. That right there is the Shimmer Glens, and he points at the big collection of kind of dead or dying trees, and you can see at the heart, rising above all the rest, is one massive white tree.
Has the forest here always been this dead? Looks like it's suffering here.
No, it's normally quite nice. I guess winter has just come early this year. Just like these rains.
Hmm.
Has winter come early, Jason? Can I think about
Okay.
this?
Mm,
So-
Yeah, nature check if you want.
That sweet nature. A 25.
While it is unseasonably cold, it is unseasonably wet for the region, and it wasn't like this in Magnamar, which shouldn't be like a massive, or at least your time in Magnamar and Sandpoint towards the end of the summer and through the fall, definitely, it didn't feel like winter was going to come early. So no, you don't really think that winter has suddenly arrived.
Okay. So, fair enough. We do have the option to, like, rest before we go and investigate what's going on here and what's happened to the trees, because there does seem to be something quite significant up. However, I feel like time is pretty critical, but I will yield to the majority.
I'm drained and doomed. I feel like crap.
if I felt like we knew what we were walking into, I would be more confident just going in, but it seems like something is amiss, and I'm not sure what. So
Would there even be a place to like sleep around here, or is it just
we'd have to
kind
camp out proper, and it would be a
open?
little bit awkward. I could probably lower the water level in a reasonable area if need be, but
But you're still going to have, I mean, unless you're talking about removing the groundwater from the ground.
I know, I like, as I said, I wouldn't be able to do much beyond making it slightly less damp. Still gonna be damp.
We can maybe hunt for some kind of cave or hollow where we can make a shelter, but we do have a proper tent in our kit.
Would we like to scout it first and see what we're dealing with, and then we can
Yeah.
double back if we think
Yeah,
that
let's do
it's going to be
some-
too bad.
Let's do some scouting today. And camp.
Well,
camp
if
out.
you don't
Out
need
about.
me, I'll be back tomorrow. Is that alright?
Aye, tomorrow afternoon, you think? Gunn?
Maybe tomorrow, and if you don't see us tomorrow, please come back the next day one more
Aye.
time.
And if you don't see us after that, we're probably dead, so.
Very
Well,
well.
we'll just swim.
I'll hopefully see you tomorrow.
And he he never left the boat. He just kind of gets one leg out, kicks off of the shore, and then begins rapidly paddling his way back to Turtleback Ferry, even faster now that he doesn't have your dead weight aboard.
Alright. Well then, Asher, you're probably our best scout here.
Dude,
You feel confident to go forward, or?
whatever happened to those swampy boots?
Oh, they're packed away someplace.
One
Actually,
of you wearing them?
I actually thought you were wearing them, weren't you?
Yeah, I
I'm-
thought so too.
Oh, you wearing them? Yeah, you swampy. You gotta go swamp around.
I thought
here.
Asher was.
Nobody-
Somebody take the boots.
No, I'm
Nobody
wearing
actually put them
fast
on.
boots.
Yeah.
Okay, well then Greshy should take them because they do protect 5 against acid on top of the. I think it was acid.
I mean, I'll take them. I figure I'm going to be right in Phelan. So
Can we put them on fail? There's
I
only
don't think they're going to fit Phelan.
I've got boots as well that I like the effects of.
Oh, I'll put on the boots then.
Five.
Also, I've already got a ring, I think, of acid protection, which wouldn't stack with that.
What did the boots? What did the boots
butts.
actually do? Like
They
I-
let you
I-
walk on water briefly, and they let you move in swampy terrain without any penalties, and they protect 5 acid damage.
Yeah, I mean, if Greshy doesn't want them, I will put them on instead of my current boots.
I'd have you put them on. They just seem
I
more
just have to-
appropriate for you since you're going to be better at scouting than I am.
yeah,
I don't
just have
plan to
take
be ranging
down
that far.
my Plus.
Okay, so Asher takes off his. What did you have on? The boots of dashing or something?
Yeah, or not the boots of dashing. Where are my boots?
How long does it take
Boots
to
of
attune
bounding?
stuff?
Boots
Yeah,
of bounding.
boots of bounding is what I had.
Is it like a minute or a round or a?
To invest in an item, I don't think it takes very long. You invest as soon as you don it. It requires one or more interact actions,
Okay,
usually taking the same amount of time as it takes to put the item on.
gotcha.
So yeah, these you once you take off the other boots and put these on, you invest your magical energies into it, your soul into these boots, and you, as you take a few steps, you start to rise up above the muck, and now you're kind of standing on the surface of
So tall.
the mire.
So what are the name of the boots exactly, just so I can plug
Boots of the Mire.
They're
M-I-R-E.
they're in our Discord in the resources channel.
Oh,
Mhm.
sweet. That makes
The whole item description's there. They are the
So
boots of
let's-
the mire.
Scout around, find a shelter, and then see if we can spot any activity in the area.
Hey, this creature that the commander fell in love with would be ideal. Unless we find the commander himself, that would be even better.
Just wandering around.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So,
Might have just got lost.
in the rain, you guys make your way a bit closer towards the Shimmer Glens, in doing a bit of scouting to see if you can figure out what's going on. Give me survival checks, I guess. If you're going to be doing some scouting. Otherwise, this is exploration mode, so if you want to do any kind of exploration-y task, feel free.
We are team survival, so I have a 19. Not great.
Could be worse. Could be better.
A 28.
I would like to try and recall knowledge about dryads. Or naiads or whatever we're facing. I think it was dryad.
Do you want to recall knowledge about what it was?
I believe it was a dryad. So
Nymph.
It was not a dryad. It was a nymph.
it was not a dryad, it was a nymph.
Yes.
Then let me recall knowledge about that one then. That's the one I want.
I think
I'll just
we
think
heard
about
that-
dryads.
I think
and
we might have heard that dryads live here.
That might have been it. But a forest nymph of some sort. I'll leave it that button. And that's a 36 on recall knowledge.
36. Okay, so thinking back to your druidic studies, and these are you have some pretty close knowledge of the Fae and Fae kind. You know that nymphs, aka naiads, are protectors of the wilderness. They protect streams, ponds, other types of bodies of water, and usually they live pretty close to like the body of water they protect, and often in like groups or covens of multiple nymphs. Usually when something bad happens to the nymph that resides over an area, it often causes the direct corruption of that area as well. And this to you looks like that. Something bad has happened to this nymph. Either she is dead or otherwise gravely wounded or something. Something has happened to her. Or possibly all of the nymphs that were here, if there was more than one.
So we definitely want to keep an eye out for any sort of fae wandering about, just in case. And we'll try and help them, ideally. We don't want to kill them. They're just trying to protect the glands here.
Okay, and Gunn and Asher, you guys are doing some survivals, and you got 19 and 28. 19 from Gunn, 28 from Asher. So, let's see. Learn. As you guys are wandering around, Gunn, this terrain is pretty rough. The swamp is fairly deep in places, and it's often a surprise. You can tell that a lot of this ground just isn't super stable, and there are many patches where if you step in the wrong spot, you're just going to start sinking into the mud. There doesn't seem to be much in the way of creatures in the area, and you don't manage to find any particular tracks. Asher, similarly, I think you have an ability that tells you if there's what were the local creatures.
Yeah, where is that? Survey wildlife. Study the wilderness to determine the presence of nearby creatures.
Yeah, you're not picking up anything nearby. Like, you see one bird flying overhead, and it's taking the long way around. It's like flying around the south side of the Shimmer Glens. It seems to be kind of avoiding the place. You don't see any signs of animal dung. You'd normally expect to see maybe some gators or turtles or something in the area, but there's nothing. And as you're walking, you do hear something though. Every time you step, you hear this kind of like squeak. And you stop and turn around and you don't see anything. You take a few more steps and you hear the squeaking continue. And then kind of like a slight tinkling sound, like a bell. And you hear just a, hey!
What is that?
Oh, it's a fucking fairy.
Hey,
What is that?
listen to me. Hey, look over here,
Where?
down here.
I'm looking down.
You look down and hanging onto your boot there is a small blue pixie.
Oh. Hello.
I've been trying to get your attention.
Oh, I'm sorry. I wasn't really. I was in the zone.
You've got to help me.
Oh, what's up?
Look. My name's Yap. My mistress. She's ill. She's very ill. Very, very, very ill. Death probably would have been better, but the land here sickens with her heart, and it can't be cleansed until her misery's purged. Please, I can't do this myself. Please, you gotta help her. You're friends with her human lover, right? You're like him.
Oh, yeah. I guess I know the guy.
Oh, good, good. Maybe you can do something. I can take you to her. You've got to cure her forlorn heart, please. I've tried everything. She just wails and moans. And the trees and the plants and the nixies and the frogs and everything's dying. Or worse. Please. I can take you there, please.
Okay, all right. We can go. I have 2 friends. I should probably tell them. Extra help never hurts.
Oh, good. Friends are good. Friends are good.
Okay, let's go find my friends real quick. Where are my pals at?
Okay, he kind of flitters up, and he's got like short blue hair. He's dressed in, yeah, he's a tiny little
Fairy boy. Okay.
Yeah, fairy boy, little pixie, with fluttering blue wings, and he's carrying around like a little wilted dandelion, that he's waving around like a torch almost. And it looks like this.
Oh.
There he is.
No, he looks friendly.
Yeah, just a
I like the
friendly
wings.
little pixie.
Very
So
strong for a pixie. He's ripped.
he is
He likes to, work out. He does CrossFit.
never skips ab day.
Of course not.
You probably bench pressed like a half a pound.
I'm impressed with the wings that he even does leg day at all, but there you go.
Yeah. So yeah, Asher returns to the rest of the group who aren't too far away.
Are these your friends? Are they going to help?
I hope so. We'll see what we can do.
I didn't get your name, by the way.
Oh,
who are
my
you?
name's Asher.
Oh, good, Asher. My name's Yap.
Hi, Yap.
And you guys are?
And he kind of flies over to you, Greshy. He flies straight to you. You're like mounted on top of Phelan, who is like knee deep in the muck. And he just flies straight up to your face.
Hello.
Oh,
Are you human too?
Hi there. Sure.
Oh, you're an ugly human.
I'm aware. I'm Greshy. This is Phelan.
Hi, Greshy. Hi, Phelan. I'm Yap.
Boof.
Hi, Yap.
Phelan just,
Barf.
yeah, just kind of borks at him.
Nice to meet you. And you are?
And he flips his way over to Gunn.
Oh, hello. I'm Gunn.
Hi, Gunn. I'm Yap. Nice to meet you.
Yeah.
And he like grabs a lock of your hair and starts shaking it. You tries to like swat him away.
So, are you
Brushing
gonna
out
help
my
too?
mustache. Are we?
You look big and strong. You look like you could help. I don't know if strength is what she needs.
What are we helping out exactly? Are you?
My mistress, she's hurt.
Oh, so you know the nymph, or one of the nymphs around here,
Yeah, Lady Miriana.
Lady Miriana. Huh. Well, I don't see any reason we can't help a bit.
Oh, good. Then we gotta go. Come on.
And he starts flitting away.
You're gonna need to slow down. Some of us are not quite that fast. I can't fly yet.
I'm slower now.
Oh, okay. I can fly slow. Or wait, here. You.
And he flies back over to Asher and just like lands on your head.
Here, I can guide you.
Sweet. My sense of direction is impeccable. Let's go.
Okay, so he just like lands in your messy nest of hair and grabs two
Ooh, it's
two
like
strands and
Ratatouille.
starts ratatouilleing you.
Yeah. All right.
Let's go.
Onward.
Where are we going? Where am I going? I'm going.
That way.
And he kind of points. You can't see him, so he.
Yeah, I
he-
can't see him.
Turn
Greshy, help.
left. A little bit left. That way. Yeah,
Okay.
there. Forward.
All right, here we go.
Asher starts stomping through the muck.
All right,
The rest of us try to keep up.
Aye, we follow.
Okay. The rest of the group follows as you head towards the innards of the Shimmer Glens. You start to pass many dark, twisted trees that rise from very shallow pools all around. As you make your way into these woods, you start to kind of lose your sense of direction. As Yap is leading you about, the trees themselves seem to twist and bend around you. And if you walk down, as you guys walk about 10 feet, if you turn back and look, there are now trees blocking your retreat. And passageways have opened up, and that weren't there before. And it just kind of becomes a weird twisting maze of branches and
Let's get out some
mud.
light.
Okay. How would you like
Take out-
to enlighten?
Do you have a light spell?
I have light spell prepared. I can cast it on your shield or something if you like, or your sword.
I think I'll. Let's keep the swords put away for the time being. I think
On your forehead, then.
I think we should get the whisk out again.
All right, the almighty whisk.
Yeah.
Seems reasonable. I cast light on the whisk.
Okay, so you Gunn produces the almighty whisk, and you cast light on it. It gives off a soft glow, brightening your path through the woods. And as the light shines, some of the trees begin to kind of back away just ever so slightly, and kind of twist away from you.
Ooh.
Maybe
Why
we'll
would
keep
trees
a
do this?
maybe we'll
Can
keep
I
a hand
think
on the
about
sword
that?
and just in case.
Sure, that would be a nature check, I guess.
Let's see what Asher knows. If anything, a 22.
Your best guess is that it's some kind of weird fey corruption. You don't know if these trees are... They don't seem to be creatures, per se. They're just kind of instinctively reacting negatively to the light. It's not good, whatever it is.
It's very untree-like.
Yes. So yeah, this is some more exploration mode. So what are each of you doing as the little pixie leads you through the Shimmer Glens?
I'm going to keep an eye out for traps. I don't know what to expect necessarily, but I'm not sure what is going on out here, so I'm wondering if something might have made it harder for people to get in to deal with it.
Okay.
Watching out for anything aggressive that might attack us.
All right. And
Yeah,
Asher.
on guard, I guess.
Okay.
I'm just wondering what these trees are up to. They're very strange. So I'm kind of
Okay,
looking
so you're-
around, kind of up a bit.
Okay. So Asher's kind of watching the air when not following directions. Greshy is just keeping an eye out for any kind of trap. And Gunn is... do you have your shield out, or I don't even know if you still have your shield?
I do have I have a shield that's in the bag of holding.
Okay.
I've been using the shield spell instead.
Okay, so you're just you're just kind of warily keeping an eye out for danger.
Yes.
Okay, and listening probably more than anything to hear for anybody sneaking up on
Shining the flash whisk whenever there's something.
you. Whenever something moves or
Questionable.
creaks.
Yeah.
Okay, so as you guys continue, though the rain continues to fall, the sound slowly begins to kind of fade.
until it's just like a very light, muffled sound almost. You don't quite notice this. It's pretty subliminal until it's almost completely silent. Perception check, I guess. Adam. Yeah.
Okay. Perception. We have
Pretty good.
29.
29. Okay, so as you guys are walking and it grows more and more quiet, you're keeping your eyes open for and ears open for the slightest sound, the slightest noise. You hear a very slight creak as you guys pass a trio of darkened trees, and watch as these kind of claw-like branches start to reach out towards you. Everyone else isn't quite paying attention, but you're able to warn them just in time. And you all kind of jump back and give me will saves, everyone.
Also, is
But-
Shough here? I just
Oh,
realized.
Oh, Shalelu is here. Yes, she's just.
Yeah,
She's supposed to be, at
I
least.
haven't heard her in a while.
No, she's just been hiding.
Oh shit!
Sorry, I
Nice.
sort of forgot that she was there as well.
Nat
Oh, wow.
20 on the
I
will
just
save
realized.
for 36.
Ah, man, these rolls for me today though. 23.
I got to 29 total.
Holy. Okay. Yeah, you guys all just critically succeed this, thanks to Gunn's initial warning. Yeah, so these these claw-like appendages like reach out at you. But as they kind of scratch where you once were, they kind of fade into this just kind of shadowy wisps that kind of fade away with the rain. You
33 for failing, by the way. But
okay, that's also a critical success.
somehow we thought that'd be all right.
I guess Asher's isn't a critical success; it's just a success. But in that case, you are frightened 1.
Is it trying to control my actions?
No,
Okay.
it's not trying to control
Fuck,
you.
it is considered a critical
yeah.
success if that happens.
Oh, I see. No, you're merely frightened.
Now I'm doomed, I'm drained, and I'm frightened.
And we're walking into a creepy forest. No big deal, right? It's the worst that could happen.
So Asher's a little bit on edge.
Hmm.
And as these like wispy tree arms recede, you start to see like blood kind of leak out from some of the trees, and Gunn, you can see on one of the trees it's just written out in blood as it's kind of draping down. Just says "leave" in common.
Ha!
Gunn just laughs.
Get it?
Oh my god.
Oh, the mistress isn't happy. I can tell.
No, we're gonna have to. Well, we are trying to help her, but she's not going to take it lying down. It sounds like she's not going to accept our help. We'll have to force it on. I can't even make this not sound bad.
Yeah, I'm like, look.
We'll do
Gonna
our
have to be
best,
a little
says
more
Shalala.
charismatic about our.
Oh, I'll take care of the talking. Don't worry about it.
Oh no. Yes, actually, I really think Greshy should talk because she's clearly angry. Greshy's
I-
very
Don't know if that's for the best, but okay. Shalala just seems kind of worried there in the back.
Oh,
Yep,
just
if
see
she
what
fights
Greshy
us-
does.
We may have to subdue her in order to help her.
Well, we'll see. We'll see what
If you
talking
think
looks like.
if you think that's for the best, just don't hurt her any more than she already has been.
We will try.
Okay. And as you guys continue forward,
You, who was looking for traps?
I was
That
looking for traps.
Greshy? Okay. As you guys are continuing onward, you start to see lumps of flesh lying face down in the mud in various places all around you. Not like suddenly appearing, but just as you're walking forward and shining, and the light is getting shown around, you start to see these what appear to be corpses of very large creatures. None right next to you. Most about 10, 15 feet away in amidst the trees. You can go towards one and examine one if you wish, or you can just leave them there. They seem
sure,
to
let's
be
take a look,
quite
why
large,
not?
quite a bit larger
Guessing
than
this is
you.
all the wildlife that's missing from the area.
It's hard to tell. They're face down, so I'll take a
Yeah.
look carefully.
Okay.
Again,
so,
still keep an eye out for any obvious traps.
Okay, so Greshy has everyone wait while he goes and approaches one of these lumps. And as you get closer, you can see it is wearing rags and has been torn apart by some kind of force. And as it's got a clear arm. It's definitely humanoid. And as you like reach over and try to like push the corpse over, it's very clearly an ogre. You see the ogre's face. It's just open wide in just a look of horror. It seems to be an ogre.
Okay. So possibly the farce that Lucretia sent here to deal with the commander, and also to deal with possibly the commander's paramour, if you will. She fought back. She
Which
failed.
would generally be, well, did she fail?
From the sound of what Yap's saying, it sounds like she did. She may still be alive, but
Was she, I mean, you're
she's
saying that
suffering.
You're thinking
I
that
don't
Lucretia
know
did
if I would
this
call her.
to
Well,
her?
it was bad. It was really bad.
Was there a human woman that came here and did this to her? Did something to her?
I don't know. I wasn't here at the time. I was out playing in the forest. When I came back, it was already like this.
When did this start?
I don't really have a concept of your human time. Maybe a week ago.
Okay. That's pretty good. That's good enough. Impression is that the commander's been missing for longer than that. Much longer than that.
Commander's been missing since the day the fort got taken.
Which was probably more like a month or two ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wait, how do your... What's a week?
About 7 or 8 days.
And what's a day?
It's the time that the sun rises to the time it sets and then rises again. It's one day, one of those cycles.
Oh, I see.
Do you know how many of those cycles it's been?
I think maybe about 30 of those. Is that a week?
That's a month.
That's about a month. That's about 4 of those weeks, but that's fine. That gives us kind of the information we're looking for.
Yep.
All right.
All right. That makes
So
more
she-
sense.
She may have done it herself, this being her entourage.
Mm-hmm.
That said, if these ogres are anything to be taking some inspiration from, be prepared for, I wouldn't call it foul magic, but unpleasant.
Angry magic.
Angry
was all-
magic.
It's all so sad. Miriana's sisters had abandoned her, and now this happened.
Her sisters abandoned her. Why so?
Yeah.
Well, I heard from Nella that they were jealous of her. They didn't like how she had found love, and they hadn't. They thought she was prettier.
Where
So
are
you're
her
jealous of her.
sisters?
Okay.
Where are her sisters now?
I don't know. I haven't seen them in a
Far
long
away?
time. Yeah,
Did they
they're-
used to live here?
Yeah, they all used to live together in happiness. But
Okay.
once your friend started showing up, they just got more and more angry with each other. About
Suppose that's love for you.
All right. Yeah. The picture's starting to form.
Well, we should press on, see if we can talk to her. Or try to, at least.
Mm-hmm.
all right.
And by we, I
well,
mean you.
Let's keep going.
okay.
But it seems like the nymph was actually legit and not trying to trick the captain or
Possibly.
anything like that.
Okay. So
At
you
least
guys
until she got corrupted.
continue your
That's
path.
a positive development, I think.
I continue on the path.
As you guys keep going, you come across a large pool of water, created by the runoff of a bunch of trees that are kind of in a bit of a circle.
Let's just go around it. That way.
Okay. I'm not
All
gonna
right.
argue with that.
I'll take
Yep.
your word on it.
Yeah, this isn't where we're going.
Well, we gotta go across, but let's just go around.
Okay.
Don't look at the water.
All right. Not looking
What's
at the
in
water.
Water.
What is this
Oh
place?
boy.
I like if he says don't look at the water, I am seriously not looking at the water in case it's like see your reflection and your ghost jumps out and attacks you or some
Not my
shit like that.
ghost. What's in there? Yep.
It's not good. Just don't look.
Now Ash wants to look in the water.
It's just an image of yourself, but dead, Asher.
Don't do it, Asher. I'll talk to Asher. I'll be like,
I already have so many
Can I-
so many ailments. What's another one? You know?
Asher, think about something else. Think about
What's in this dirty water over there, Gunn? Oh no.
As you guys are walking, do any of you take a look at the water?
No.
specifically no. Think about sawmills and how
Sawmills
they
are on the water.
But not on
Dang
this
it.
water. They're on other water. Water that you should be
No,
looking at that's not this
inside,
water.
The machines. Think about the machines they have, and let's just keep going.
The machines are in the water. They turn the water. Water, water, water.
Oh boy.
Is it a lake? What is the circle? What if I peek at the? What if I don't look at the water directly?
Give me a
What if
will
I'm like-
save, Asher.
I need to do it, you know.
We know.
Oh god, and I'm frightened too, so everything's worse.
No, you're not frightened anymore.
Oh, I'm not frightened anymore.
If not, if it's been around.
No, this frightened actually stays.
Oh, really?
as
God.
long
It does
as-
not
as
reduce
long as you're-
automatically.
Yeah, as long as you're in the woods, this frightened keeps going.
Oh my! So aura of courage won't affect it either.
Okay. You take a glance into the water.
25 for me.
Confirm. Okay. So you take a glance into the water, and you look, and you can see your reflection and the reflection of your party members, and they, all of your party just starts to decay, as if they were like transforming into zombie-like creatures. And their reflections leap out of the water towards you,
as if ready to
Fucking called it.
eat your flesh.
My guess.
You recoil in fright, but nothing seems to have happened to you. You just something just feels off. You don't feel good.
I wasn't feeling
This
good
is-
before.
You feel like you've just made one step closer to death. You're doomed too.
Oh lord.
Ooh, I'm doomed too, everyone. Oh, guys, don't look at the water.
I told you not to look. Why did you look?
I was so curious. Why'd you tell me not to look?
Because it was
So you wouldn't
dangerous.
Oh man, I'm so slow. I'm so
Asher.
tired and. This is how Asher dies, through sheer stupidity.
Not with a bang, but with a whimper.
Alright,
Ah.
guys. I hope
Come
I
on.
don't die.
We gotta get out of here. No one else look, please.
Yes, don't look. It feels real bad.
We've gotta save her.
We're gonna save her. We're also gonna make sure Asher doesn't die. Please. Starting to think that boy has a death wish.
As you guys continue onward, you start to just out the corner of your vision. You each start to see just kind of vague, ghostly shapes, just kind of dancing in your peripheral. They are of a multitude of colors: blues, pinks, purples, greens, and they just kind of they seem to have kind of make a corporeal form very briefly and then kind of vanish. They seem to be almost dancing or cavorting, I suppose, just outside of your vision, and then
Which is
slowly
like dancing, but scarier.
yeah, scary dancing.
Spooky,
It's the
scary,
bad kind of
spooky.
dancing, but they're doing rock dancing. Yeah, there's this Rocky Horror Picture Show out and playing on the side.
You're laughing.
I think it's Janelle laughing in the background.
Yes, it was. She enjoyed the Rocky Horror Picture Show reference.
And eventually, the figures start to encroach more and more on your vision until they're kind of just all around you, and you just see like these weird phantom animals, kind of parading about. Everyone, give me will save.
Fabulous. Greshy gets a 37.
Hey, at 31,
31
that's not
for
so
Gunn.
bad. Oh no, that's not me.
You have
33 for
33.
me. Yay, it's even better.
And Phelan ends up with a 28.
And Shalelu got a 32. Okay. So I think everyone succeeds. Who is that? That's Greshy crit succeeds. So Greshy takes no damage, but the others. Let's see. So as these
Forceful kind of tricks.
spectral fae are kind of dancing about, some of them start to like pass through you or pass just by you, and you're kind of like trying to keep to yourselves, but you almost can't even help it, as it's almost like a stampede of ghostly creatures just kind of pass right on through you.
They all go over Greshy's head.
Yes, they all pass by Greshy's head. Oh no, he's
too-
mounted. No, you're mounted on
He's
Phaeton.
mounted,
no.
so
You're
he's
actually
above
Go
all
above.
under
this.
him.
Hi.
You look down on the others from your high horse.
Just like,
And sorry,
hi, dog, thank you.
that you all take 23 points of negative damage. Halved, sorry. So what? 23 over
So,
2 is
11.
11. So 11 points of negative energy damage, except for Greshy, who takes none.
by
Right.
these spectral creatures passing through you. They don't seem to really care about you or take notice of you in the slightest. They're just kind of around as you're trying to pass through them. You just kind of have to wince and grimace through the pain as you slip through. You continue deeper into White Willow. As you continue forward, you can see up ahead is not too far away, maybe about 200 feet or so, is the massive white tree sprouting up out of a mound of swampy dirt, mud, with a kind of putrid pond all around it.
I think the overlays are not keeping up.
Are they not? Oh, that's weird. I can refresh them sometimes. Does that do it?
Nope.
Sometimes they just get behind. That's okay.
It's been that way since we got here.
Sometimes computer is just weird. Okay. Yeah, so as you guys are approaching this, you notice perception checks, actually. Maybe you don't notice.
Only a 21 for me.
A 20.
23.
You and me,
Those are all
Greshy,
pretty
those
low.
twos.
Those are awful, in fact.
Ooh. Okay. You don't notice. You continue walking.
All right.
Yeah, you guys continue walking. Shalelu kind of, she's sort of standing in the back. She stops a moment and looks around, kind of shrugs and continues moving to catch up with you. And you guys make your way. So this whole tangled swamp is just giving way to this large clearing with a massive white tree. It seems to be like an old willow tree, but it is massive beyond the size of any normal tree. Okay, she should be pretty close. We're here. My lady, she should wait for you within. I don't dare go any closer. And he kind of flitters off of Asher's head and flies behind Phelan. I'm just gonna wait over here. Good luck.
You realize Phelan's coming in with us, eh? You're not hiding behind the dog.
Over here then, and he flies like further away to behind a tree. Good luck. You can do it. I believe in you.
I don't even know what that means. I don't know what we're up against. This is all very terrifying.
Well,
I probably shouldn't go first.
I was about to say either myself or Gunn.
I'll lead the way.
My limbs are barely
Whisk
hanging out.
held high. I'll go ahead and draw my sword at this point, though, because this is not great signs.
Okay.
I'll pull out the Highland staff and we'll head forward, I suppose.
So as you approach the clearing, there's a loud boom of thunder in the distance. And a singular blue light floats just above the kind of pond that surrounds this great white tree. As you get closer and closer, the light begins to form into a creature, the shape of a woman.
Ooh.
The woman
She
is
definitely looks haunted.
Yeah, the
Got
woman
cool
is
ghost stories.
spectral in nature, a pale blue in color. Her face torn apart by something. Her arms and both of her arms are and legs have been ripped from her limbs, I suppose, ripped from her body, and just kind of dangles as spectral material kind of loosely connects them to her body. She's clearly been partially dismembered, perhaps in life, and now appears before you in death or undeath. And as you approach, she's just weeping.
I'm gonna ask Greshy, is she dead? And I'll also try to ascertain that.
I'm pretty sure she's. That's not what they look like.
Yeah,
She's probably dead.
Yeah, you can pretty trivially tell that she's dead.
Okay.
I would make you
I
roll,
mean-
but you're gonna succeed.
If that's some projection or something, I don't know.
It looks like an unreleased spirit to me. Normally I'd say we need to put it down, but I've never dealt with a forest spirit that was also undead.
Do we still have the note with us? Didn't they have a little letter?
We
I
have the
don't-
love letters.
We maybe
Do we have
offer
time?
them
Is she reacting to us?
So she initially doesn't. She's just kind of sobbing. But as you guys like kind of start whispering to each other about what you were just whispering about, she kind of suddenly looks up at the group of you. You're at fault for taking my Lamatar away from me, aren't you?
That's not true.
No,
That
ma'am.
doesn't sound correct.
Doesn't sound like us.
Well, if you weren't part of what took him from me, you allowed it to happen. You failed to protect him. You failed to protect everyone.
That might be true.
Ma'am, we just got here.
Do you
Why
need to speak to our
didn't you-
manager?
Why didn't you humans do something?
I'm a dwarf, actually.
You're a dwarf?
We're trying.
When it's convenient.
What? I'm just learning this.
I'm gonna slowly try to reach into the bag and take out the pages that have the loves on it. And also we've got the locket. We've got Lamatar
Oh, yeah.
Baden's locket with her
Okay,
hair in it.
So you kind of just try to
I'm reaching
Yeah.
into the bag
you pull off your backpack and start reaching into it, and pull out a
Slowly.
few items slowly, to show that you're not like reaching for a weapon. She just kind of curiously stares at you as you do so.
Okay, let's get out those love letters and I'll set. Let's see what. We'll say we did come here to find Lamatar Baden. We worry that something terrible has happened to him. We want to help him.
It's too late. He's already dead. I know this.
How?
He won't come back to me. That's how. I tried. I've tried to reincarnate him, but he won't come. He's left me. His spirit won't come back.
Oh, you have his dead body somewhere?
Should we try to bring him back? May we try to bring him back?
Anne,
Yes, if you bring back his dead body, perhaps something's just wrong with the spell. I can still save him. I can still bring him back. You just have to find his dead body. Where's his corpse? Bring his corpse back. I can revive him. I can bring him back to me. Everything will be okay.
Well, I don't know where his corpse is. I guess she doesn't know where it is either. Where's the last place you saw his corpse?
You know.
He was here. He was protecting me. I died. He wasn't able to save me. I wasn't able to save him. I don't know where he is. I don't know where they've taken his body. But you must, please, I implore you, strangers, please, bring him back to me. Please.
They took his body.
Bring his body back here.
That's weird.
They would have taken him then.
I don't know what they plan to do with him. My precious Bay. My precious Bay. They've taken him.
Who's they?
Bay.
No.
No.
Who took him?
I don't know. That snaky woman and her ogres. They surrounded us.
So she was here.
Hmm.
That's not good. And
My
they took his
allies, the
body.
forest spirits, they tried to stop them, but we were outmatched.
We will try to bring him back. We are
You must bring him
Fighting.
back. You will bring him back.
Okay.
fighting against the snake woman Lucretia.
Then you'll see the star. Good.
Yes.
Good. Then be gone. You must make haste. I don't know how much longer I can last like this. I must see that he is brought back. I must bring him back. Please help me bring him back.
All right.
Give her the little letter poems just to tide her over.
Yeah, should I leave these with you? They may help you. And I'll open the locket
What?
that has it.
Where did you get that? I gave that to him. And she flies over to you, and her incorporeal hand reaches out and snatches it from you. Give me a reflex save.
Okay. Not great. 17.
Okay, so you fail the save and take 12 points of negative energy damage as she kind of both hands grasps yours, like just full grasps the locket, and you just feel this unearthly chill run up your spine as she pulls back and just lifts the locket out of your grasp.
I'm sort of fine with that. Did you say 12 points?
Yes, 12 points. She's clearly not intentionally attacking you. She's just in
Yes.
her rush, just tries to grasp at this thing. And for a moment, it's like she can't quite hold it, but she's able to become solid just enough to lift it up out of your hands, and then just kind of floats it in front of her.
Oh, how I missed him. Oh, this reminds me of him. Yes.
She
And I'll-
kind of peace comes to her face. She still seems very tortured, but
Mhm.
she seems to have relaxed at least a little bit.
We also have his letters. I'll open one up and read aloud a passage. He wrote sonnets, in fact, it says.
Okay, give me a
Nice.
diplomacy check.
Okay. A 37.
37. Okay. As you begin to read the sonnets aloud, the mist all around you begins to lift slightly, and you all hear the creaking sound of trees all around you. If you turn back and look, you can see the forest, the curled and gnarled branches that were blocking many of the roots through the forest now just kind of unfurl, revealing safe passage. At the end of your reading, she has kind of formed back into a small, just blue light at the water's edge. Go. Bring him back.
We will.
Sure. We'll try.
Thank you. Okay.
All right.
Well,
I guess
let's make our way out while we
there's a
can.
reason to go north.
Not dally.
That went better than expected. Shalelu says she's been kind of holding her breath the whole time. All right, I guess we should get back as quickly as we can. As you guys make your way out of the clearing, Yap flies over to you. You've cheered her up. You did it.
It's not done yet.
Well, I can't leave here, but good luck.
Yeah, I wouldn't go in there if I were you, Yap.
No, that seems like a bad idea. But at least it's a little safer around here for now. Thanks.
Oh.
Welcome. We'll bring back the deed. I guess.
It makes sense to me to put them together, and then that might put her at rest.
Yeah, well, we've still got to figure out where they would have taken his corpse.
I assume up north where
Like-
she went. I hope.
Presumably, their
I would've-
only goal taking his corpse was to get her pissed off like this and make her some kind of evil spirit that will create more hazards for people who are trying to thwart their plans.
Well, did they take his corpse or did they take him?
It
Fair-
is kind
fair
of a
question.
mystery.
I mean, he may be dead now, but he might not have been dead when they took him.
'Cause maybe
Which
if she
means that
can't
they
bring
might
him
have been-
back, it's 'cause
He
he's
might
not
still be
dead.
alive. He might be captured, being tortured.
Or maybe he went to chill with them and is evil now. We'll
It's-
find that out.
You know, it's possible. He might be just under some sort of controlling power.
I mean, she
either
just
way-
wants him back dead, so if he's evil, we just kill him and bring his corpse back.
I mean, if he's truly evil, but I think we'll find out when we actually deal with him whether he's evil or under some sort of control spell. Assuming that's what's going on. Either way, I would have assumed they would have taken him back to the fart. They did not do that. So,
Or maybe it's up where she is now.
Mm-hmm.
all the way up to Hook Mountain. All right.
Well, if anything, at least we were going north anyway.
True. That went a lot quicker than I expected. Do we want to just see if we can... It's a long walk, but we could try walking back to Turtleback Ferry.
Take a nice casual
go up to-
stroll.
Bitter Hollow.
Also possible. Maybe they'll have a more amenable blacksmith there.
Gnome Town. I think so.
Gnome Town. Woo woo.
Oh, well, I think he said the gnomes don't live there, but they do have a trading post there.
Ah,
Could be worth checking out.
Aye. Well,
It's
let's
probably
make our
our
way there.
fastest way back. That's the only place we can cross the river, right?
Aye.
Oh,
And we should definitely make our way back so that we don't make that poor old man
Yeah.
quickly
Hustle
right
his
across the
way
lake for no
the
reason.
lake again.
We can at least check back
We
in
gave
within
him
a little
5 years' salary.
We did.
And it's
Well,
in the
you did.
bank. It's
Wait, you
gaining
did?
interest.
That's
You
true.
gave him 5 years of salary?
5 years of salary. That man deserves it.
He
The
said he
strength of
earns
his
a gold
arms.
a year, so
Oh, he only used... Oh, wow. All right.
He smartly invested it too.
yeah.
In real estate. Quarry real estate.
In real estate, hey.
Cobblestone savings and loan.
Well, let's head up to Bitter Hollow then, and either make our way back from there to Turtleback Ferry or just stay the night
Yeah,
either
we'll
way.
see what time we get to Bitter Hollow.
Okay.
It's still a bit of a trek through the swamp, so
Yep. So you guys then proceed to make your trek through the swamp towards Bitter Hollow, and I think that is where we shall end for the night as you guys make your way back.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think that's a good point to stop. It is
Okay.
decent stopping time. So
it's past your bedtime.
it's past all your bedtimes. Go to bed, everyone.
Oh.
Aye.
This has
Okay.
been Third Action. We are usually live every Monday or Tuesday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Check us out on Twitter. See if you wanted to find out when we are. Nice. Thanks, Drachin.
What year are we?
Glad you've caught up. Hope it's been a lot of fun for everybody.
Aye.
Yeah, so next week we are back on Monday?
Monday.
Monday.
Yeah, Monday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. Yeah. Or continue watching on YouTube. That's fine too. Podcast. That's great. I love you no matter what you do. I love all my children equally. Yeah.
Lies.
Yeah, it's true. I only like Phelan.
I don't know if Phelan is your greatest love. It's fair.
All right.
Sounds perfect.
Good night, everybody. I'm gonna go make
Good
some
night.
dinner.
Right.
Farewell.